Take any home, your home, set it aglow with the magic of music. Then watch as it opens a new world of fun and enjoyment for you and your family. It's RCA Victor's brilliant new best of 57 albums, including the artistry of Frankie Carl in his building adventures in music around the world. Fabulous Lena Horne sings love songs in her Stormy Weather album. Fire of Belafonte as he sings of the Caribbean. Free and Easy Perry Como in his special request album, We Get Letters. Look for Perry's bright RCA Victor display with the best of 57 albums in your choice of long play or the 45 economy package at your RCA Victor dealers now.
Hello, my name is Dave Hill and I own BPM Records. When we first opened, we concentrated on dance music and indie music as well as chart products. And basically, as we evolved, we concentrated more on dance music. And probably for about 15, 20 years, we were more of a dance specialist than anything else. We closed our Derby store due to the fact that the guy who had the shop next door to us wanted the unit. So basically at the time it was getting a little bit difficult as well due to the fact that downloading had started to kick in, and we also knew that the Intu Centre was about to open. So it was a good time to basically downsize. So we closed our Derby store after about 20 years of business. We then reopened about 7 years ago now. And it was the reason we reopened. It was basically all the record stores had closed down in Derby. There was nothing left, and I felt that there was a market for an independent store again. And to be honest, it was one of those: do I join the real world and actually get a proper job, or do I reopen BPM? So we reopened BPM, and luckily enough, it's been good since.
So my name is Aaron Authors. I've been collecting records for 10 years roughly. Quite an avid collector of different styles, anything from sort of jazz through to death metal. I've collected CDs for years beforehand, but then I used to start going to gigs, and I used to buy band t-shirts every gig I went to. And then I went to see a band called Aborted, and they had this really cool artwork on an LP. They didn't have a CD of it, but the CD was in with the LP, so I really wanted the CD. So I bought the LP, and then I got home and thought, this is pretty cool, and then it spiraled out of control. There's loads of things online where you can see that they're scientifically proven to be better sounding and all that sort of thing. But I like the physicality of it. I like the artwork of them, the feel. It's nice to actually have something in your hands that you've paid some money for. When I was younger, I used to spend more money on going out and partying and things. And you'd see your pay slip and you think, what did that go on? Well, now I can see what my payslip goes on.
I think personally it's a warmer sound, and it is more collectible. And I do think if you listen to your own ears, it's a different sound.
My name is is Sean Turner. I run a company called Vinyl Chaser Records, mostly online, but also I do other people's record fairs, and this is my own, which I started over a year ago. Nottingham Record Fair really is, always wants to do one on my own. And I did go to the YMCA Record Fair, which years ago in the 80s. So I did want to try and recreate the sort of magic that was around at the time. I just wanted to bring people together in our community where they can, people know each other, they can come and share their experiences and other stuff like that.
I think people of a generation below mine are starting to inherit their parents' collections, and I think that there's been a move. Although for some of us vinyl never went away, but I think people really appreciate the ability to look at things not just as music but as an artefact, with a sleeve, perhaps sleeve notes. Things of interest like that.
I just think people love, they love vinyl. They're addicted to it. They can't, not have it. And more people want it. Younger people are starting to buy vinyl again because they've obviously, like, the parents have told them about it because of the revival, and just everybody's gone mad on vinyl at the minute.
We do find over the last few years more and more young people buying records, which I think is great because it's. I think it's more refreshing for a shop to have that kind of customer base rather than just lots of old people coming in and buying records.
I'd say with why it's popular, maybe because with streaming being the most popular way that youngsters or younger generations listen to music, there is no physicality. So your favourite album you may have listened to 10, 20, 30 times a week, a month, whatever. Without buying it, you don't own the album. So I think it's that sort of thing that makes younger kids want to go and collect records. Vinyl's more special than a CD. One, probably because there's more they can do with it. A CD is always going to be a CD shape. It's always going to have a booklet. It's kind of stuck in the same way. Whereas with vinyl, they kind of do extras with it. So, like, for instance, you're not going to get a CD that's shaped like that. So this one's cut into like a flower shape, just so it looks like a flower. Different colours they can do, so you end up with some records that are black, some are yellow, green, splatter like the one was before. There's just more things they can do with it. Some come with bigger booklets, you get books involved, box sets, things like that, which, boils down to the nerd in me that likes collecting little bits and bobs.
Searching for records, you need a lot of patience, a lot of time, a lot of pairs of jeans, get plenty of holes in them from digging in crates and everything else. So no, just get out there and look. That's basically it, and that's half the fun of it, is looking. Once you've got it, it's a kind of anticlimax because then you've got to find something else.
Vinyl is still relevant today. It's kind of gone full circle, I suppose. Smaller bands now put their stuff on vinyl because they figure out that people like to collect things.
I would say look after them. Make sure that they, you put them back in their inner sleeves, and just buy the collection that you want to listen to. You don't have to buy thousands of records. Buy the records you really, really want.
So this is my favourite record. This is Grey Britain by Gallows, which is Frank Carter's first band. Pretty seminal in sort of 2000s punk. As you can see, it's nice grey, red splatter. It was only one pressing, so it was quite limited. It now fetches quite a lot of money, but it kind of has a sentimental value to me as when I first got with my partner. It was the first record she bought me, so that's why it's kind of got a sentimental side to it, and it's also one of my favourite albums.
Occasionally you'll buy a record collection and you'll find an album in there that you didn't even know was rare.
A lot of collectors, if it's rare, they'll pay any sort of money for it.
I've sold plenty for over £100 each.
And I think I got something like about $4,500 for it.
Probably U2 test pressing years ago, about £10,000.
I don't usually spend that much. I don't have the money to spend that much. Quantity over quality, maybe.
There's only so far you can go with technology and downloading, and I think it's reached the peak where people are going back to the roots of where music came from again.
Some friends start buying records, their friends start buying records, and it just that big knock-on effect. It's amazing how it has changed. It's gone from people downloading and buying CDs to buying vinyl, and I think vinyl will outlast CDs, to be honest.
If you're into vinyl, you can't explain it. It's just something inside.
I grew up with records. My parents had records. My grandparents had records. My kids now see my records and think that's where music comes from. So I imagine it will continue to go on until they find a format that sounds as good and is as collectible.